The first complaint came in at 6:00 a.m., before the coffee finished brewing. An unauthorized emotional tone during lawn maintenance. The subject line read, I stared at my inbox waiting for the joke to land. It didn't. The message was from the Willow Creek Estates Homeowners Association. My AO, and it included a timestamp photo of me, standing in my driveway the night before, hands on my hips looking down at a patch of dead grass. According to the complaint, my posture conveyed visible frustration and created an atmosphere of dissatisfaction, inconsistent with community values. I laughed once short and sharp, then felt something colder settle in because Willow Creek didn't joke. It documented I'd moved in 3 months earlier. Drawn by the quiet streets, identical mailboxes, and the promise of order. I worked from home, needed calm. What I didn't realize was that calm here was enforced. By noon, 3 more complaints arrived. One accused my porch light of being too contemplative in hue. Another cited my trash can for lingering presence. After pickup by 12 minutes. The third was my favorite. Suspicious stillness, apparently. I had sat in my car too long after parking. The HOA attached a grainy photo taken from across the street. I was just sitting there, engine off, forehead resting against the steering wheel after a long day. To them, it was a violation. I emailed back politely asking for clarification. The response came instantly. Stillness invites speculation. The HOA wrote, speculation disrupts harmony. That was my first mistake engaging. After that, the complaints multiplied, growing stranger, more personal. My blinds were accused of watchfulness. My footsteps were described as aggressive pacing. A neighbor reported my television volume as emotionally inconsistent, despite it being barely audible. Each notice cited the same clause: community perception standards. No one had ever shown me that section of the bylaws. I tried talking to my neighbors, but conversations died the moment I mentioned the HOA. Smiles tightened eyes darted to doorbell cameras. One woman whispered, just comply, before closing her door. The fines started small, $50. Then $100. Then mandatory corrective guidance sessions. The first session was held in the clubhouse basement. No windows, fluorescent lights. 12 metal chairs arranged in a circle. Everyone sat perfectly upright except me. The HOA representative, Mr. Kessler, never blinked. He slid a folder across the table. Inside were printed screenshots of my life. Me checking the mail, me rubbing my temples. Me staring at my phone at 2:00 a.m. You appear burdened, he said gently. That burdens others, I told him I was just tired. He nodded. Fatigue is a form of non-compliance. After that, the complaints escalated into something else entirely. Unapproved breathing rhythm detected. Excessive sighing audible through shared airspace. Facial expression suggests dissent. I stopped sleeping. Every creak of the house felt observed. I unplugged devices, close blinds. Learned to move slowly, deliberately, neutrally. Still, the notices kept coming. The final warning arrived on a Sunday. You have been reported for internal resistance. It read, this is your last opportunity to realign. That night, I found a packet taped to my door. No envelope, just instructions. A schedule approved walking times. Approved facial expressions. Approved thoughts listed vaguely, disturbingly at the bottom. Harmony requires participation. I snapped. I packed a bag, planning to leave before dawn. But when I opened the front door, the street was already awake. Every porch light was on. Every neighbor stood at the edge of their lawn. Motionless faces blank. Phones held chest-high cameras pointed at me. Mr. Kessler stood at the curb. "You never filed a departure notice," he said calmly. I asked, "What would happen if I left anyway?" He smiled, not unkindly. "We'd have to document you." That's when I understood the complaints weren't about rules. They were about erosion. Wearing you down until you self-corrected. Until you became quiet enough, still enough acceptable. I went back inside by morning. I filed an apology with the HOA. I paid the fines. I adjusted my behavior. The complaints stop now. I mow my lawn with neutral posture. I sit in my car for exactly 30 seconds. I smile when appropriate. Sometimes late at night I feel frustration rise up again. But I swallow it because here at Willow Creek Estates, even thoughts have homeowners.